of this season here in a very sunny Catalonia in Barcelona. I will not be riding solo this time out. I do apologise for the previous 2 rounds, but never do a late night.
Really,
never do a late night.
Never
do a late night gym session, and also always just get good power, because power cut was why I missed China. I've got no game sound, it's great. But I will introduce my co-commentator of the returning double duo, it's myself and Mizman.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice, beautiful round here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. Currently, we got a few drivers on their out laps. Barton has already killed the Bollard going into the 3rd sector, so that's nice. We got Gilzo and the Red Bull out. A bunch of drivers out on track right now to set their banker laps, I'm assuming. So far this season, we will give you guys a rundown. Seems a logical choice. First, we have Manello in the Haas. It's for him, but that consistency, his finishes so far have been 4-2, 3-2. Always up at the front, and that's got him into a nice lead with standings. 6 points back is Heskey AVFC in the Mercedes with 58 points, followed by Gilzo in the Red Bull, J. Cole in the Mercedes, Addy in the Racing Point, Adrill in the Ferrari. Those two sound too similar if you go fast. They just need to change their names to make my life better. Johannes in the Racing Point, Samuel in the Alfa Romeo, Barton in the Renault. The other Renault rounds out your top 10. For Haas so far this year, those guys have been on top of it. Not chalking up wins, but they are, you know, they're just staying there trying to get points, and it seems to be working for them. Followed by Red Bull, Racing Point, Renault, Ferrari, Alfa, Williams, Toro, also, and at the bottom of the standings is McLaren with no points at all. The only team with no points. So last week out, since you guys missed it, let's get a little bit. I'll give you guys a little bit of a recap. I was there. Peter wasn't.
I enjoyed my sleep. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm glad to hear you enjoyed your sleep. You missed a thriller of a race.
Yeah, I bet with it being Baku, so.
Yeah, it was a good race. Last weekend out. Started off the race pretty slow, standard start. We had a sub-driver for one of the top guys. His name is Dimitri. He came out. He was filling in for the normal driver of the car that he was in. I don't remember what car it is. Don't ask me. I'm not paid to know these things.
Well, we're not paid at all, but you know.
Yeah, whatever. So for some reason, he's not in the standings, because screw him, right? But last weekend out, we had a safety car at some point, because obviously someone crashed in the castle section. Following that, a lot of drivers pit, got new tires, but then we had controversy on the safety car restart. The sub-driver Dimitri slowed down the entire field. He brake-checked the entire field before he took off down the straight. Earned himself a reprimand there, I believe. Not quite sure what I think they're still deliberating on the penalty for that, surprisingly. So we're not really sure if he's going to retain that win or what's going to happen there. But overall, it was a good race out in Azerbaijan. A lot of drivers had damage. Gilzo was up in the front. Barton at one point was leading the race before he wrecked himself. Sometimes, you know. Actually, every driver that finished the race last time got points. We started with 18 drivers and we ended with 10. It was not good. Not a good outing for a lot of people, but thoroughly entertaining for me. So.
Yeah, well, good to hear that safety car did make a show. I wonder if we'll get a safety car here in Barcelona. There are a few very tricky corners.
If there's a safety car in Barcelona, there's a serious issue. These
drivers,
it's not the driver's fault either. This track, you just can't overtake here. And that last chicane at the end of the straight really sucks.
Yeah, there's a couple of corners and curbs that drivers need to watch out for. One of them is right on with Gilzo now. It's coming into turn 1. It's the inside curb of turn 2 you need to watch out for. If you catch that, you just get sent spinning, and it's just a nightmare, especially with one tyres.
That's the thing about this game I've noticed with this game a lot more than most of the previous games. The curbs in this game are really out a few times in some of my personal races, but I don't know what's up with that, but I feel any curves and high-speed corners or medium-speed corners, they are killers.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. And yeah, also just a mention to turn 12, the left right at the end of the second DRS straight. Turn 12, another killer there. You can take the curb, but if you end up taking too much speed into it, the rotation of the car, you get understeer and you just end up in the gravel on the exit.
That's very true. It's very true. Following along with Gilzo here, he's had a really rough lap here as he cuts the last chicane. He's going to go back into the pits. He was trying to set a lap on the white wall tires. I'm not sure what his plan here was, but, you know, hey, man, that's what you get when you're an Irishman. They're not the smartest, are they?
Oh, there's some beef.
Oh.
Did you when I switched to Gilzo, I saw a McLaren on the inside of the final corner, just parked up. I don't know whether that
do we
was.
have a McLaren in this race? We do.
We have both of them. We have both McLarens racing. We have MW
Fola's here.
and Fola.
Remember Fola from last year? Fola made his debut at Brazil or Belgium last year and lit the world on fire.
That was a great race.
That was a cracking race to watch. I was really glad we were a part of that. Don't know why he didn't set a quali lap here. Maybe he wants to give us a show coming from the back, but. Yeah, I mean, this year so far for McLaren, really not good. DNS is race outside the points so far this year for McLaren. Not a strong showing so far.
Yeah, so just quick rundown of tyre choices. We have the three compounds: soft, medium, hards. So far, only one driver set a competitive time on the softs. For me personally, other than Australia and maybe a few other tracks, you don't really fancy qualifying on the softest tyre, because then you're essentially forced into the two-stop, and then all the drivers that are on the one-stop having essentially a pit stop over you, and unless you're 2-3 seconds a lap, every lap that you're on the fresh tyres compared to the other drivers, you've got a lot of time to gain up to. So DPL putting himself in a little bit of a on his own zone, as to say, and then we got Barton already up there on the hards with a 1:19.8, so 1.2 seconds off the pace. So that's roughly about the gap between the softs and the hards, 1.2 to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see anyone else even attempt to challenge DPL for the pole here. I think he's got the pole already. No one else is really going to go for that, in my opinion. I see no advantage to doing so.
No, but
riding on board now with Barton, he's starting a timed lap here, I believe. No, he might be on cooldown. I'm not sure.
I think he's just completed one. I think he just completed one, but I think it was invalid because he did improve, but he didn't improve in time. But just the driver in front of him on a lap, I believe, is Beck, or in the Toro Rosso, is Beck in front of him? Yeah, Beck's coming behind him. Beck's behind him. He's on the softs.
Lopez was off at the second DRS straight. He was sideways across the track. That's
good. Another. He's had a nice tank slapper coming out of the hairpin as well for good measure. So maybe and he's lost it again. Hopefully keeps it out of the barrier. He does indeed. Does a little flick spin, keeps it off the racing line in front of the Ferrari, and continues on. Those mediums might be a little bit too worn now, or even just overheated.
You really got to appreciate someone like Lopez, who, even though the game is set to equal cars, he's still going out there and doing his best Williams impression, and I really respect that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep on board with.
He's just got no down. He's acting like he's got no down for everything. It's great.
Yeah, well, keeping on board with Beck, comes towards a line. He goes quickest on the softs by 28 thousandths of a second. So we do see someone knocking the pace off there, and it's a Toro Rosso, currently 1:10, but Fuzel is not completing any more laps.
Yeah, you see, a lot of these drivers out here, they're not going for their fastest drop on the softs, you know? They're just right now trying to get a solid lap on a harder compound that's going to let as Hefke goes fastest on the mediums. Wow!
a whole tenth quicker than Beck.
What a lap that must have been to get the mediums to the front.
Addy goes 4th on the mediums. I'm in a league with Addy. He's not a bad driver. I had a couple of battles with him at, I think it was China. We had an interesting race where it went from dry to wet, but I don't think we'll be seeing any rain.
Oh, speaking of Addy, he loses it coming out of turn 1, smashes his front wing on the inside wall. That was not what you want to see, man.
I think he must have touched that curb 2 that I talked about. And did we get a update on the weather? I don't think we did. But hopefully we keep this stage dry. Addy is very lucky there not to lose a wheel. Loses quite a bit of his front wing. And
yeah, his wing's certainly gone, but you know, his wing's not gone. He's just missing half of it. Who
his
needs half
left end plate is gone.
Who needs it?
Yeah, he needs it indeed.
So Addy's actually a really interesting case. Him along with a bunch of other drivers have taken serious issue with the Renault driver Barton's driving in past races. With Addy going so far last week as to for fear that Barton would take them both out before he let someone pass him.
Yeah,
so,
I think he's probably one of those drivers that's quite aggressive. I would say a harsh battler, but hopefully he doesn't be that kind of guy that ruins other people's races.
Yeah, I mean, so far he's only ruined his own races that I've seen. That's why we call him Bottleton.
Yeah, well, especially it's Bottleton definitely after what I saw in Bahrain when he was battling for P2, I think it was, or even the win, and he was fighting with Gilzo and spun it on the final corner. I think it was towards the end. Yeah, it was. He was fighting for the win. I think it was the win, and Gilzo had a penalty, and Barton lost it.
Yeah, last week at Azerbaijan, out of the castle section, coming out of the castle section, that right hand at the top of the hill, he just gave it too much throttle and spun it and broke his wing off while he was leading the race. Just, the man cannot, no matter how hard he tries, maintain a result. And I think it's because he psychs himself out in his own head. He puts too much pressure on himself and winds up killing himself in the race. Yeah,
it's all about consistency, I think. As we've seen with Manello,
three second places will be better than ruining all those potential wins.
Yeah, exactly. As you see with Manello, he said he was leading the championship, and he says yet to get a victory, but leading the championship. So,
and he's not the fastest guy. He's just consistent as hell.
Yeah,
if that guy goes out there, that man is going to finish the race, and he's going to get the most out of his car without taking risks.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Alain Prost. He's just a consistent, smart driver. It's a very smart driver, and I think that any team who was looking for a good driver, you'd be insane not to want Manello on your team, you know?
No.
He's just so consistent.
Mm-hmm. Keeps himself out of trouble, stays away from the harsh battles, runs his own race, and I was riding him with Bag of Bones, but he has now just gone to the pits. 3 minutes left in this session. I should get the stream up to get the comments up, but I can't spot me, so I can't bother. Let's see what the comments are saying, if I can get this stream going on my laptop.
So coming on here in the final 3 minutes of qualifying, I don't know if we're going to got what they think they've got. I see J. Cole's starting an outlap right now. I think he might be one of the only people who decides to come out and set another time.
Yeah, I noticed Manello is NW area has selected the softs but still in the pits. He might leave it to the last minute. DPL is back out again on a fresh set after being knocked off the top step, and also Heskey, or as he's been told to call me, Ollie, is on the softs in the pit, so he could go out for a last ditch, basically push and then maybe just bail out at the end if he's still going to keep pole.
As Lopez has spun in the first sector again.
Yeah, he's on an outlap, so not too tough for him.
Yep, not too big of a deal. Still sad to see it, you know.
I see J. Cole, Ollie's teammate, leaving it to the last minute. He's on the mediums, resetting one only run here in Spain. I'm going to keep on board with him as he might be the first driver to start a lap out of these that are on out lap. So we'll ride him on with J. Cole going towards turn 1. Hopefully he avoids turn 2 where Addy lost it. Someone coming out of the pits, hopefully he gets out of the way. It does indeed. Red Bull is a long way back. Nicely through turn 2 as one Red Bull retires and the other one carries on. Down towards turn 4 now, up to 7th. So not really going to get into 8th gear, down into 4th, maybe 3rd if you're feeling like you don't get the turn in into turn 4. Then into another tricky section of corner. You don't want to run wide of turn 6. And then up to the fast left right, which can catch drivers out if you take too much curb on entry. He avoids the curb and is beautifully through. Now towards the sharp fast right hander on the second DRS, straight DRS wide open up towards the end of the second sector split. 52.2, not too sure whether that's competitive enough or not. We know that Ollie, as he takes the curb into turn 12 quite harshly, but that's the way to do it. You don't really want to get the snap of oversteer that you can get into the final sector towards the final chicane. Yellow flag in front, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. Doesn't cut the corner, doesn't run wide. Beck improves to go pole for now. Where does J. Cole put himself? Across the line. It was an invalid lap, so he has to go again.
He must have invalidated himself somewhere.
So he's one to watch.
That's unfortunate for him. You know, he had the same issue last week in qualifying. He didn't set a lap. He just couldn't get out there and get it done. You gotta wonder if you're Ollie's, how are you feeling about having a teammate who can't even qualify the car? Ollie's is out there. He's in second right now. If his teammate doesn't crack the top 10, you've got to be seriously wondering what's going on inside that team.
Yeah,
why you can have a driver who's averaging a very good starting and finishing position, then you have a driver who can't qualify the car.
Lopez putting the Williams on the front row.
Look at that! Lopez, after spinning every single time I've looked at him, he bongs it on pole. Good for him. Wrong tire, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, we'll keep on board with our championship leader at the moment, coming into the final couple of corners through the chicane. Doesn't want to run wide, otherwise that can invalidate. He was it up in the first sector as far as I'm aware. Towards the line, does he improve? He does, inside the top 10. P9.
That'll be a good starting position for him.
Do we see any more improvements? I think there's only one more. It's J. Cole, and he's spun it on the line.
For everyone. Beck's in the pit lane.
J. Cole
spun. J. Cole with a 127.0. What are you doing, man?
Probably made another mistake.
Jeez.
So we only have.
I don't know, man.
So that's our qualifying ended. 16 drivers.
Yeah. That's...
15 set a time. 6 people get to fresh set of whatever they want, and it'll be interesting. 5 drivers will be starting on the softest compound, and they've got the opportunity to try and pull away to make the 2-stop work. So run us through our qualifying order.
Alright, qualifying. Let's see. Yeah.
Are you loaded in?
Okay, now I've loaded up. Sorry,
that's
that
alright.
was weird.
Yeah.
On pole, we have Lopez and the Williams with a 118.289 on the soft, followed by Beck, Ollie's, MW Era, DPL, Gilzo, Johannes, Barton, Adriel, and Manello. Your championship leader rounds out the top 10. Behind the top 10, we have Bones, we have Addy, we have RC7, we have Fuso, we have J. Cole, and at last, with no time, we have Fola in the McLaren.
Excellent
Should be a
stuff.
good race, I'm hoping.
I hope so indeed. And I think you timed that pretty well, because as soon as you spoke out the last driver, the time cut out. So.
Well, you know, all according to plan.
Yeah.
All according to plan.
Oh, the sun's slightly hid away. A little bit of cloud covering. Hopefully no rain forecast. Otherwise, everyone, I believe, would have been more diligent to start on one of the softer tyres. but unless the rain is not going to come to the end, then if you're on the middle compound you're better off. Hopefully it stays dry. You've gone a bit quiet, Ms. Man, unless you're not talking or your mic's cut out. You've what?
Back on the lines, okay.
That's alright, because sometimes you have...
Internet cut out.
Yeah, sometimes it does cut out. I'm like, is he still there or not? So do we have formation lap? I hope so.
We do.
We do, that's good.
We do have a formation
Gives
lap.
us a little breather.
Formation lap was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, drivers need to keep... what drivers need to realise is that the formation lap is one of the most key parts in the start of a Grand Prix, because you've got to get those tyres heated up to get the best traction off the line against your competitors. Lopez is just absolutely flying for some reason, and just hopefully he knows that it's a formation lap.
So you have to wonder, it looks like it's going to be overcast for the entire race, according to my sources on the track. We should be looking at a cloudy race for the most part.
I've just also noticed that, just sorry to cut over it, Ollie and MW area are both on mediums. They must have not improved with the soft tyre.
That might be good for them. That might be a blessing in disguise. You know, they're probably not going to take the lead off the start here. I'm in a good position for this race.
5 of the 6 starting outside the top 10 have all opted for the hardest compound. The driver that's not is Addy. He thinks that the medium to hards is his form of strategy. Personally, if you want...
You know, I agree. I think that's the way to go.
Go different. If you're outside the top 10, then he's gone different to the rest. Yeah. All top 10 have to start on the tyres they qualified on, and 3 of them unfortunately have to start on the softs.
What the heck is going on here at the back of the grid?
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I saw something going off there.
There was a Ferrari on the side of the track. It was just all kinds of messed up.
Yeah. Well, we're lining up now on the grid.
Back of the grid forming up.
To start.
Cola's about to slot into position. At Spain, thank you all for being with us. We're about to get ready here at Spain as we get ready for the lights.
So here we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the final 5th light is out. And we're underway here in Spain. This camera angle is horrendous, but here we go then. In towards turn 1 for the first time. It looks like a great start from Lopez, but it could be 3 wide.
McLaren made contact. McLaren down the ends.
Oh, there's a contact.
Outside. Does he do it? The Mercedes holds it. Ollie's leads the way from Lopez. It not get off the line the way that he wanted to, in my opinion. We've got a Force India sideways. Addy at the back of the grid. He got spun. Looks like so far mostly clean. Beck moving up in the world a little bit, looking okay. As Gilzo goes down the inside, Toro Rosso and the Red Bull make contact there. That's not what you want to see. That's not very smart, boys.
Just a quick note, into turn 1 I noticed a bit of carbon fibre fly off the front wing of the Alfa Romeo of DPL's car, so he's going to be suffering with some wing damage for the rest of this first stint.
Yeah, let's see what he's looking like. Yeah, he's missing his right side end plate.
Oh, Barton's gone.
That is...
Barton had a little bit of contact with that Alfa Romeo as we were talking about, and he lost the rear on the exit and is down a few positions. He's down to 10th.
Yeah, well, they don't call him Bottleton for nothing, you know. He's always making the little mistakes when he doesn't need to.
Yeah. So we end lap 1. Fantastic start from Ollie, as he charges down his chances for this championship. In first by Lopez, MW area in third. Gilzo making a great start up to 4th as Johannes overtakes DPL up the inside into turn 1. that wing damage is not helping that Alfa Romeo and loses yet another position. The Racing Point up into 6th, Beck is in 5th, and then we have our championship leader making 2, and he's up the inside of the Alfa Romeo into turn 4, still side by side. The Alfa Romeo is going to have the inside into for the next corner, but I think Manello has the position. Does he? Late braking by the Alfa Romeo round the outside, and he should have it on exit. He does.
Good job.
He does indeed. So he's up 3 places from the start of this Grand Prix. All drivers very close at the moment.
What we haven't mentioned right now is, yeah, it was a great start from Alex. Alex started 3rd. He didn't start 2nd. He made up 2 spots before he got through turn 1. That was an incredible start by him. And honestly, I think he's going to be able to pull away.
Yep, and he's going to have the tyre advantage. Once those soft tyres start to wear out on Lopez's car, it's going to be all aboard the Lopez train in that Williams if his tyres start to wear out and the drivers behind can't get by. But at the moment, sticking within half a second, keeping within that slipstream, bags himself the fastest lap, and is going to might have a little look into turn 1. Do we get a move? We don't. He sticks with behind the Mercedes into turn 1. Order is as it was previous lap.
Lopez had a dreadful race in Azerbaijan. I think he had like twice as many pit stops as the front runners, which still only makes 4. At the end of the day, he had an awful weekend last time out, and here he is in the Williams in 2nd so far. Started on pole. Yeah, he didn't get away the best, but he's trying, you know. Oh,
yellow flag. Johannes is gone. I can just see his name dropping down. Wing damage and in the grass. Not too sure what happened to there. But that is an absolute disaster for the Racing Points. They are back of the grid for now.
You know, you gotta wonder who does anyone go for the undercut here? Do you think?
The undercut I've known is to be very powerful, but because you're starting on the mediums, you're forced into the 2-stop. Even if you're,
so you gotta wonder.
Yeah, but the wing damage is going to cost you 5 seconds in the pit stop, and that can be any advantage over as Heskey or Ollie retakes the fastest lap. He's now got a slight margin, better margin than he had at the end of the last lap towards turn 1. The McLaren behind Lopez going into turn 1 very close, late on the brakes, and you can just see these top 4 starting to pull away from the chasing pack. 2.5 seconds is the gap from Beck to Gilzo, so there's a mean battle on for all 3 podiums and a 4-way fight for the victory of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, this is so far it's exceeding my expectations already. Yeah,
hopefully we
can. By the way, he goes
very sensible. Some might say that once you get damage, you might as well pit just to get rid of the damage.
We say that DPL's holding on strong in 7th with his damage.
Yeah, he probably just wants to wear out these, just stretch these softs as far as up to his pit window, because his pit window is so close compared to Johannes's was.
Oh, the Ferrari almost hits him. Adler's getting very close under braking, showing that lack of downforce is there. So, I mean, you have to wonder how long is he going to hold on here. He seems to be doing okay. He can't hold that position.
Not too sure. I think it's going into these 5. Oh, as the Ferrari rides the curb, as Lopez retakes fastest lap. Yeah, those soft tyres haven't lasted very long. Lopez retook fastest lap and he's got DRS this time round into turn 1. No overtake this time around, but is still within DRS range and hopefully sticks there. And hopefully these soft tyres don't wear off too quickly. It's basically.
If it's me.
Yeah.
If it's me, I'm gonna stay behind. Have my engine in lean, use the DRS to stay behind him, let your softs wear out. You're not going to gain a gap at this point.
No,
so
that's
just
true.
Be ready for when you can pit.
Yeah, that's very true. And
yellow's in sector 1.
I think Bagabo Fuso? Yeah, it must have been Fuso. I think because he's lost quite a bit of time on those hard tyres. Same with his teammate.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, one thing that drivers have to look for is tyre temperatures. As I think there was an attempted move from Edgell up the inside into turn 10 at the end of the second DRS, up the inside, doesn't give much room for the Alfa Romeo with the damage, and that's a position gained for Adriel. DPL losing one more at the starting stint of this race.
Like a DPL come back. I think he had a terrible run through it. Oh no, it was better than it looked like.
We could see a move for the lead. Oh, as it goes defensive, as Ollie makes a late move defensively into turn 1, holds off the Williams, and it stays as it was. Very aggressive from Ollie going into turn 1. It's just a late defensive move from him, covering off Lopez into the braking zone. Nearly gets Lopez rallying to the back of him, but I think Ollie's struggling a little bit. He's not pulling away as I was thinking that he would, but then again, he is on the mediums.
I agree.
But
I mean, it could just be his setup, maybe, or maybe it's just maybe he's not trying super hard to pull away. He's not trying to push.
Oh, maybe he doesn't need to. Yeah, maybe he's just trying to save fuel. He is in a great opportunity to save fuel. And
exactly. I mean, his ERS is on 0. He's got a very high.
Oh, McLaren up the inside of Lopez into turn 12. Excellent move there. Tragic traction from the Williams on the exit of turn 11, and he loses the position.
He's got to get those sauce off that car.
Yeah, a little lock up from Lopez. Does he bail into the pits? He does not. He carries on for another lap, trying to stretch out these soft. But when you're in DRS of a driver, you can just keep up. But that gives a little bit of breathing space for the Mercedes out in front with that little move from MW into turn 11.
Oh, DPL gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The Alfa Romeo must not have been able to slow down like he wanted to under braking.
Yeah, I find that, as Gilzo looks like he might be attacking Lopez coming into turn 4. Gilzo has the inside, and is that job done? Does the Williams try and hang it around the outside? Yeah, that's job done from Gilzo up into the podium positions. I don't think Lopez's tyres are in any sort of shape to be battling, and this is where the medium runners get into their own. Tyres are now up to temperature warning into the track, and Lopez is going to start losing time more than gaining now.
And you know, that's the risk that you have to run when you take that tyre choice, you know?
Yeah, it's like, if you're going to run the softest tyre, you've got to maintain that lead. Make sure you're not being held up by anybody, because when you're on the softer tyre behind someone on the harder tyre, it's very difficult, unless you're on a track where it's easy to overtake. It's very difficult to get back in front and then pull that gap.
In the grass. Oh, never mind, that was lag. Thanks, Gabe.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the McLaren right now, and
yeah, on my screen he just completely messed up the braking zone there.
Excellent run from the McLaren as well. But takes the fastest lap himself.
That's the fastest lap. Yeah, he totally went on the grass, totally.
Yeah. Into turn 1. It looks like he's the dark horse for this win, because his pace is right. As soon as he got by Lopez, his pace has been right up there, and he's now hunting down the Mercedes. Gilzo falling away a little bit out of that DRS window. Lopez does pit onto the mediums. That means he's guaranteed to do the 2-stop. Those mediums will definitely not last 26-7 laps.
No, they will not.
He is definitely on course for a 2-stop.
3/10 the gap to the lead. Yeah, he's just following him through. He's right on him, ready to pounce as soon as he gets a chance. Yeah. Oh, that curbing is going to be very dangerous, and I believe it might get one of these drivers could get caught out when their tyres start to wear if they start riding that curb a bit more, and you could see themselves in the wall on the back straight. But it's good to see they've got a decent gap to our championship leader in 4th now, after some drivers making some early pit stops and a few mistakes. The Haas driver 6 seconds off the leading pack, and we're right on board now as MW looks like he's got a great run out the final corner. Slipstream, DRS, probably ERS into overtake. Does the Mercedes go defensive? Mercedes goes defensive, wheel to wheel, side by side, a little bit of contact into turn 1. Oh, this is beautiful battling. As the McLaren, the Mercedes cuts him off. He tried to go up the inside. No, he's going to have to stay behind him for one more lap, probably. Probably going to have to wait till maybe he can get him in the next DRS zone, but even at that, I think you want to wait till the front straight. Yeah, very aggressive stuff from these two drivers. Nice and clean, though, with a slight contact, but not enough to cause any damage. We like to see some harsh but fair battling, and it's lovely to see that
I think Gills has got a fantastic seat of this, and if these two collide, he is in prime position to take victory, as I think Bag of Bones is making a move and overtaken Addy into the top 10. Both these drivers yet to stop, but Bag of Bones is on the hardest tyre.
You have to wonder who's got the faster drive here right now. I don't think we can definitively say as of right now. It's very close. I think Ollie's got the better middle sector, and then I think NW has got a chance to pounce, but I think he's a little bit too far back this time round to make any moves into turn 1. It's just about it's just about in DRS. With these guys battling, it could possibly bring Manello into the fight. They only lost a little bit of time, but if Manello, what he could do is, if Manello was to do the undercut on these guys, it's very powerful, is the undercut, get those fresher tyres on before these guys, and maybe just bring himself into this battle, as Addy gets himself a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's felt that those medium tyres are worn away too much, and he's going to try and do 23 laps on a set of hards. I think at this point, I don't think the McLaren is pushing super hard right now.
No, I don't think so either. He's fallen away.
And he knows. Yeah, the Mercedes is pulling away right now from second place, and I think that's by design. I don't think the McLaren is trying super hard to catch him at the moment.
Yeah, he's probably learnt his lesson. He's tried to get for the lead.
You have to wonder if maybe he does want to go for an undercut.
Oh, but then again, Ollie's just set himself the fastest lap, so he was just pushing hard to get out of the way. We could see Gilzo make a move on the McLaren. No, he's not close enough. Great camera shot into turn 1 here that I've got from the helicopter going through this section of corners. Some people don't like the camera on this game, but some of the shots that it does take in spectator mode is quite good.
It's nice.
Sometimes it messes up when you want to see some action and then it doesn't change camera quick enough, but some of the camera angles are pretty decent.
Lopez has just made a pass on Bag of Bones for 10th.
Into turn 1. Oh, Lopez loses the rear!
Spins! He did that in qualifying too! Oh, this is a disaster!
He got caught on the curb once again into turn 2.
Yeah.
And
same
loses
spot
the
as
rear.
qualifying for the pole setter.
And that's not going to do well for his tyres. He probably wanted any form of undercut on the leading pack. He will have to make another stop, but he wanted to get himself up there just to battle with the drivers that are going to be on the harder tyre.
Exactly.
And he's just lost so much time. He was battling for 10th. He's now lost about 10 seconds of time.
As J. Cole is in the gravel as Foley goes by. J. Cole ran wide heading into the last set of turns there, hit the gravel. Seems to have recovered okay on those hard tires, but not looking too hot for the other Mercedes, who, as I said earlier, underperforming a bit.
One of the first front runners that are on the mediums is into the pits, the Ferrari of Adriel, or however you pronounce it, I'm going to Adriel, as I always do. He's into the pit lane for a set of hards, maybe try and undercut, catch up with the top 4, as Barton is promoted to 5th, and Fowler, after starting at the very back, is in 6th.
That's good for him. You know, he's had a good drive. Pits have helped a little bit, but at this point, everyone who's pit behind him that he had to worry about has messed himself up.
Lopez into the pits. His probably tyres are overheated. He's going to be on the hards, and I believe he'll be pushing them all the way to the end. Just a quick look at gaps between drivers and the leader. How long did you say the pit window is? 20 to 25 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I think it might be like... Yeah, I think it is 25, right? Oh, the second and third both pit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because these guys are going to encounter a little bit of traffic when they come out of the pits, they could come out
Yeah,
anywhere
they're gonna come
between
right out into
Bag of
traffic.
Bones and Beck. Oh, it's better just ride him all the way back. He spins it into the barrier on the exit of turn 12, comes out the gravel with wing damage.
There you go, buddy. Good job.
Fola is promoted up into P2.
P2.
And MW does he get in front of Heskey's teammate J. Cole round the outside. So now, what
for
can
team's sake, J. Cole needs
Mercedes?
to block.
Yeah,
For the team, J. Cole needs to hold him off as long as he can. He needs to sacrifice his own race. He's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. He's not going to win. He needs to block the McLaren for as long as he can, as he's already messing that up, it would appear.
No,
the
it's-
McLaren's going to get around and do a switchback, probably.
yeah, the fresher tyres, the grippier tyres. I think the
I've got a lovely
McLaren's.
visual glitch where it's showing me that the McLaren is on softs, but I think he's on mediums,
He
right?
is on mediums. Wait, that's a cock
On
up and a
screen.
half. That is
Yeah,
not
he's
that.
got red walls, but on the left side on my display, I'm seeing mediums.
I just think that's a cock up and a half in general. He should be on hards. Why is he not doing the one stop onto hards? That could have
Yeah.
costed McLaren. Could have costed him the victory here with the strategy call. And now with him being
But
stuck in the
I still don't know
traffic,
what tire he's even on.
he's on mediums. If you look on the,
Is he actually?
he's on mediums. I can confirm he's on mediums as he goes to get better out of the final corner with a slipstream DRS down this main straight towards turn 1. He has the inside, and I believe that'll be job
McLaren's
done.
defending. Or
McLaren-
Mercedes is defending, rather. He's going to try and hold it around the outside.
Give him the
Turns out-
space.
Oh, don't spin it. Oh, you see, look at that. He held him up for a lap. That's good.
Yeah,
That's not what Toto wants to see, but you know what? It's better than nothing, am I right?
yeah, and now he
Oh,
easily.
Gilzo goes down the inside, gives him contact. J. Cole off the track. Those two
Yeah.
are in a party together, I know for a fact.
Well,
So those
that-
two are going to be having some heated words against each other, I'm
yeah,
imagining.
probably will do. And J. Cole's lost even more
Knowing
positions.
Gilzo, the hot hat Irishman.
Yeah, he's
Yells
probably
at
was like, "Let me through." Cheers for holding up the cheers for holding up the McLaren, but let me through now, and made it worse for the Mercedes. And just looking at the gap, 22.8 seconds is the gap between Ollie and MW as Ollie makes it into the pit lane for the hard tyres. The tyres that MW should have been on. Unfortunately, that means he's going to have to make another stop, which means I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a McLaren 1-3 at the moment. Fola will he take the lead? Can Fola get in front of the Mercedes? No, he can't. And Heskey holds on to the lead ahead of Fola and quite a bit ahead of MW, which means the Mercedes tactic work. J. Cole staying in front as J. Cole goes up the inside of Bag of Bones into turn 1, trying to recover as many positions as he can, as he's lost 14 seconds with his contact with Gilzo.
Jeez. So then, with Heskey out in front, you have to wonder for him?
Is it set in stone? Can we see, well, with MW being essentially screwed over by a strategy call, being on the mediums instead of the hards, and Fola needing to
Yeah.
pit as well. It's all down to
yeah.
it's all down to Gilzo really, but the gap is 4 seconds between
Yeah.
Gilzo and Heskey. It's
Yeah, I guess we're going to be watching to see if he can reel him in a little bit.
he's going to have to push that Red Bull, try and get by
I know
both
Gilzo's not
McLarens.
super- Gilzo's not the most confident around this track, so I'm not too sure
Well,
what his plan here is.
if he sits
As
tight,
NW prepares to go by Fola, Fola slows down, lets his teammate by. Great team orders there by the McLaren team to let each other through, make it work. Now, if you're Fola, you just had your buddy Era tell you hell out of that Red Bull.
yeah, holding him up.
And if we learned anything from Gilzo going by the Mercedes, Gilzo's not going to like that.
Yeah,
Gilzo is
not
gonna
going to like the
that
traffic.
one bit.
But just because On track, it is for position. Just because he needs to make a pit stop doesn't mean he has to let you through. It is gentlemanly to do, but it's not in the rule book. There's no blue flag, so you're not being lapped, you're being overtaken. It is a battle for position.
Exactly.
And just because you're on a different strategy doesn't mean you have to give way.
Exactly, and that's the way it should be, and that's the way that it will be here, and I think that's going to hold Gills up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So the hunt is on. Oh, Manello and Bag of Bones side by side. I think Manello got the move done. I think Bag of Bones was ran wide on the exit of turn 11, and Manello up to 7th. He's already pitted. They're off.
What's happened to Barton?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I might have had a spin.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
NW takes fastest lap away from Ollie. He's currently setting on the bonus. Is there a bonus point? I'm pretty sure there's bonus point. I think I mentioned there was bonus point at the start of the season. But yeah.
3-second penalty for multiple warnings after maintenance for cutting the track.
He's dead last, so I don't know whether that's going to get him anywhere near any points.
He's trying.
He's trying. Good for him for sticking it out. That's all I say. Just because you're in last doesn't mean you have to quit. It's heartbreaking to see that drivers quitting. Just because you're not battling for points or wins or podiums or whatever doesn't mean you have to quit. Just stick around, because it's all it takes for the drivers in front to make a mistake, and you could bag yourself some points. And yeah, a safety car could bring you right back in. I see Gilzo's making up a little bit of ground. He's already on the back of Fola into the final sector. Lopez bags himself a 3-second time penalty. Disaster for Williams, starting on the front row and all the way down in 15th. So a little bit of a disaster there from Lopez. And being on the harder tyre, he's got a lot to do to try and recover. Not too sure whether he can bag himself any points. But here we go then. Gilzo on the back of Fola in towards turn 1. Does he make the move? Late dive onto the brakes at the inside. Does Fola hang it round the outside? He will have the inside into the next corner, but I think those tyres are just a little bit more grippy on Gilzo's Red Bull compared to the McLaren, and that's job done for Gilzo up into P3.
Good for him indeed.
So I think we're going to see Fola, RC7, J. Cole, Bag of Bones and Frizzell pit in about 2 to 3 laps for the mediums, and they're going to be punching their way through the field at the end to try and get themselves back up where they started.
Yeah, I think you're about right. I think we're going to see the hard runners start to come in here soon. I mean, we still got 5 guys out there who started on the hard.
Menelo,
I don't think they have much time left on those tires.
No, although Menelo is starting to catch this little train of the worn out hard runners.
Yeah, there's your Adriel maybe in sector 3 had a bad run, I would think.
Yeah, we have our first stop at RC7 in the pits.
Yep. Now, what tire does he go for? He has to go for the medium, right?
Yeah, definitely medium. And the medium tyres are going on. Slick stop for Red Bull. You love to see it. Frizzell is
right in front of the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, I don't like that bitch.
Is that Fusa?
Yeah, Fusa, yeah. And into P11 comes RC7. Bit of work to do here to get himself back into the points, but there's a few drivers yet to stop, including DPL, and I believe it was just Johannes in the pit. I thought there was someone off. Oh, Agil's gone. Or has he just retired in the pits? Not too sure. We'll keep on board with RC7 to see where that... Yes, he's gone on the exit of turn 4.
Wow.
He was in the gravel.
How do you even manage that?
I don't know how he lost it there.
4.
Yeah. Unless he made contact with someone.
I suppose. That's just a very odd place to go off.
So it looks like we're going to be having a battle for the lead sooner rather than later, but we'll keep on rolling with our Champions League leader on the back of J. Cole. J. Cole dives into pits. Fowler is in as well. That's 2 of the remaining drivers. Bag of bones, so every driver has now made a pit stop. And only a few drivers are left to make another one. But MW is right on the back of Ollie in the middle sector. Hopefully he can get by as quickly as possible because he needs to make a gap. He doesn't want to be held up because when he has to make one more pit stop, unfortunately, and he's going to be chasing and hunting down the Mercedes for victory because Gilzo's dropped off. Yeah, trying to think where MW would come out. If you look at the gaps, he would come out still inside the top 4, just about. I think he'd be side by side with Barton. But now that all the drivers have made their stop, it's game on essentially.
Yeah.
Lopez and Addy.
J. Cole battling hard.
Yeah, let's have a little look. Mercedes versus
Good
Red Bull.
Across the field with those new pitters on the medium.
Yeah. MW is at it again. Is he going for the move up the inside into turn 1?
Down the inside, clears him. Move done. Don't know what good that's really going to do him right now, but you know.
It's just for clear air, I think.
Yeah,
He's
not going to pull out a whole pit stop.
No, he's just got to push though. Just keep the clear air. Now that your engine's not going to be overheating and the tyre's not going to be overheating, being stuck in the dirt, yeah, hopefully that affects Ollie, is what his main plan is, but he's just going to have to start pulling out any form of gap just to see where he comes out in the pit stops as well.
I mean, in my opinion, the worst will be...
Beck's gone.
Beck retires.
Yeah, sector 3, so he might have lost it at turn 12.
Yeah, well, guess we'll have to not care later. Addy and DPL, Addy pits, interesting. Bad day for the Racing Points, still haven't gotten better.
Yeah.
Shame for them. Looked okay after qualifying, but not too hot right now. I think we're Fola is closing the gap to Barton though. That's what I'm watching right now.
Yeah, let's have a look. Keep looking at that because of those fresher, softer tyres. That's going to be a battle and a half.
Yeah, I think that's really all we're gonna have to look at for now. I don't think Heskey is gonna come back on the McLaren.
Yeah, I'll keep on. Oh,
right now it's full of Barton.
Fuzel up the
second one that looks like Bag of Bones.
Yeah, Fuzel went up the inside of Bag of Bones in the final into turn 12 essentially, and great move there from the Toro Rosso. I think a mistake from Bag of Bones and Toro Rosso pounced and he's up into 9th.
I think judging by my my clock here, we're very close to the time where Barton usually starts to bottle something. So that should be something to look forward to here soon.
Yeah. There's 9 laps on these tyres. It's losing quite a bit of ground to them. You just see the McLaren's just got so much more grip in the background. It's gaining and gaining so much time.
I mean, I guess you're gonna have to hope if you're in one of the medium cars that you can catch to reel in some of them at least. Yeah,
Fowler's doing a great job of reeling in Barton, but J. Cole's I think just too far back. But what I am aware of is J. Cole is running no assists, so fair play to that.
Ah, well, good for him.
Yeah, he's got RC7 on the back of him, but I don't think these drivers are going to be catching up with this little battle that's about to emerge onto the track around the final corner.
Oh, Fola with a good run. Looks good. Probably have him next time, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, I don't think it's close enough this time. Unless he just goes for a late dive. Not recommended, but just keep with the driver in front. Wait for them to make a mistake and pounce there and then.
And when you're following Barton, you know a mistake is soon to come, so stay right there behind him, and eventually a situation will present.
Yeah, I think the pressure builds up a bit too much in Barton's cockpit, and
It will be like Moses splitting the sea as Barton will vacate the racing line.
yeah, and it could.
Like-
Yeah, what an analogy that is. But we go into the middle sector, up towards the second DRS straight. Will we see a move? Who can get the better run? We're right on board with the rear diffuser of Barton going into the braking zone of turn 11. Yeah, just to get out of the dirty air, but back in the slipstream into this tricky section of corners of the third sector. I think this is going to be Fowler's opportunity. Yeah.
Fowler's on no ERS right now, saving up for the straight ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, here he's gonna put up the 4.
Oh, shaky run from Barton.
2.
Yeah, shaky run from Barton out of the final corner.
Oh, and he retires.
And I think this is job done for the McLaren.
Barton doesn't defend too hard, still on mode 2 for ERS.
Yeah,
Not really trying to keep him behind too much. He knows it's over. He knows that he's got the faster tire.
Yeah,
Daddy's stricken car.
Yeah, the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, 2. Sorry.
And yeah,
I'm stupid.
Oh, well, one of us has to be.
We got a good battle developing here between 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, we'll keep on board with this. It's all aboard the J. Cole train, and it's a 4-way fight for 7th. A second separate, about a second to half a second separating each car. And
You gotta, if you're in that train, you're probably starting to get pretty frustrated with J. Cole. I bet Johannes gets a 3-second time penalty for being bad. But Fusa gets a 3-second time penalty for being bad. Took it a little too far.
Oh, RC7 is just so much more confident on the brakes going into the hairpin. That's I think that's just ABSOP for some reason, but you know, yeah definitely.
Certainly is.
So, will we see a change as RC7 takes an interesting line over the final chicane, but onto the main straight. Slipstream fest for all the drivers behind J. Cole. Head towards turn 1.
The driver, J. Cole in the front and Bag of Bones at the back are the ones with the most DRS charge, looking like they have the best chance here of defending.
Yeah, so it's Bag of Bones can just use his well, to be fair, when in Bag of Bones situation, he's at the back of the train. He's not defending from anyone. He just needs to attack people. So, and he's in the slipstream, so you can just harvest energy. And also, when you're at the front of the train, you only really need to take use of energy going down places where you need to defend. MW, our leader is in the pits. MW in the pits.
Coming eventually. Now the question is, where does he come out? I'm guessing he comes out
4th,
right ahead
I think.
Of Bola.
4th or
it's gonna be
4th.
Close between 4th and 5th.
Have I been held in the pits? So it was just a little glitch. Right, where's Manello?
With a 3-second penalty for being bad.
Manello is through.
There goes Manello.
MW is
slot in well
out
there.
in front of his teammates quite comfortably.
Softs.
Yeah,
How
fastest
much
lap
can he make up?
is inbound. He's got.
I think podium is definitely on the cards. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Gil though. But
no, that's
3-second time penalty for being bad.
Yeah, that's not going to help him. But he's on the back of Fowler, and yeah.
Fusa and Bag of Bones are really close right now, coming up through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, just the slipstream and the better run, maybe because of the better EOS. Let's have a quick look at telemetry.
RC7 had a bad run through there. RC7's getting tank slappers all over the place.
Yeah, that dirty air is probably not helping. Yeah. Oh, and I've just looked at his telemetry. It's just hit low fuel, so he's slowly running out of fuel as Ollie sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on those 12-lap old hard tyres, a 120.8 I think it was. Yeah, 120.7, and
wow.
Yeah, as
middle finger to everyone else.
Manello is in the pits, interestingly, and gifts the podium to MW area. Yeah.
Why?
Probably Probably wants
Fastest
to.
lap?
Yeah, but he's going to come out in this battle for
He's gonna
P.
lose position.
He's going to use a lot of positions, and he's going to come out in this little battle, I think. J. Cole down the finish straight. Where's Manello as he comes to the end of the pit lane? J. Cole is leading this train out. Where is Manello going to come?
In front of that. Oh, he's got to save it. No, he's not going to. Wow.
He's only got to make up one position though, and it's going to be a tough call.
Position, but he's still lost out 2 more.
He doesn't. He has indeed. Is that 1 point worth it? I don't think it is.
I don't think it's worth it at all, and you have to wonder, even if his tires were starting to fall off pretty heavily, which there's no reason they should be, even at that, he had plenty of a gap.
Yeah, he had a 10 to 12 second gap between Fowler behind, because Fowler's now 14 behind MW. We'll keep on an eye out on lap times for these drivers.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
He's got to go for the overtake here. He's got to get this done and done.
Late under the brakes of the inside.
J. Cole leaves him a little bit of room. Doesn't have the traction off though. Oh, he backs out of it wisely, one might say. McLaren has MWs. That's a 120.181 fastest lap.
Yeah.
J. Cole or Manello he's trying to get by him as fast as he can, but there's.
I think he'll get him here though. I think he'll get him here. Slipstream, DRS, down towards turn 1. I think this is going to be the opportunity he needs. J. Cole goes defensive. You're going to have to do it around the outside if you're going to have to overtake him. Late under brakes into turn 1. Leave the space. And that's a great move from Manello. Round the outside. He had the inside into the next corner. And he's up into P6.
Down Barton.
Yeah, 6
second gap to Barton.
6 seconds now. How much time can he take out? He hasn't been able to set a fastest lap that lap just due to the fact of being stuck in traffic, but now he's got to push on.
Well, not to mention that was still his out lap. This is going to be
that was his out lap, yeah. So this is going to be, but still being after having to go for a late brake move into turn 1 isn't really going to help you. You didn't have the racing line, but he did have slipstream DRS, which probably does help. I've just seen Barton going into the hairpin, so it's not too big of a gap. It's now 5.4. It took 6/10 out of Barton in one sector. He could bag himself P5, but then again, Barton's not too far behind Fowler, so maybe not all is lost for Manello in these dying laps.
That's what I'm thinking. RC7 gets himself a 3-second penalty. This middle of the pack area is really just going to be determined by penalties.
J. Cole's managed to pull the gap to this little trio behind. We might see Bag of Bones make a move on the Toro Rosso in towards turn 1. These drivers are getting very, very close. Weaving and ducking and diving as the Toro Rosso tries to go around the outside.
Tries to make to the inside. Not going to have it. That's going to open up the door for Bag of Bones.
Yeah, it was very close between them.
Toro Rosso.
Always ran wide.
Off the track a little bit.
A little bit of understeer through that corner in the dirty air. Doesn't get himself a penalty, but holds on. Yeah, it was like he tried to go defensive on Bag of Bones into turn 1, but there was just a Red Bull in the way.
Jeez, Fuse and RC7 are just going at it here. And it's really just holding up Bag of Bones. I'm sure he's not too upset about it because he's probably going to benefit. Bag of Bones. Alright.
Round the outside of Fuzel of RC7. Does he get the move done? Squeezed out off track.
Nope. Oh, Bag of Bones up the inside. Fuzel doesn't quite leave him the space.
He just tried to take the advantage of Fuzel's bad run out of that corner and almost ended both of their chances. But RC7 being a little bit...
really good run out of the last chicane.
Yeah, we could.
A little bit of a bobble of the wheels there by RC7. They're side by side. What's Bag of Bones do?
Could be 3 wide.
Who's he slot behind? Does he try to take RC7 as well? He might. Late breaker down the inside. Changes. Nope. All right.
Yeah, it could have been very optimistic if you were going to go late under the brakes. But yeah, Fuzel needed to get that move done and dusted. Bag of Bones, I think, has got a lot more grip, and both these drivers got a lot more grip to RC7. And we could see RC7 lose another position and nearly drop himself outside the top 10. But Lopez has brought himself into this, but I think because he's on 18 lap old hards, I think he's just well out of this fight.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, he might be able to pull something together if he's just mega with it.
On the outside, bag of bones. No. That's alright.
Some reason.
Yeah, Johannes wants to go steal away fastest lap. He's going to try and do it. Yeah, Manello, 2.4 is the gap to him and Barton. I think P5 could be on the cards. There's 3 laps to go for Manello to try and get himself back into the position of nearly where he was, but was it a risk worth taking to try and take fastest lap? I think P4 would have been better off
than P5 with a point.
Yeah, with an extra point. You've missed out on 2 points there. But he is championship leader.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to wonder what was going through his mind, what led to this decision. I mean, because the person in second in the championship is Ollie's.
I'm trying to get the standings up.
Lead. He's gonna lose the lead of the championship after this, and he might lose second.
Manello is going to lose the championship. I can confirm 6 points was the gap going into this race. Gilzo was the driver, 11 on points with Ollie. Gilzo is in second at the moment, so I think Manello is going to lose both positions. Yeah.
He's going to drop himself down to third with 1 pit stop, and that just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah, he's going to lose out on... I don't even think he's got fastest lap either. I think MW's got the fastest lap. MW's got the fastest lap. Yeah. So...
That's just questionable. Yeah. Now it looks like he's not going to get Barton, I don't think.
No.
DPL the 5-second penalty. Barton does have a penalty though.
Yeah, does Manello have penalty? That's the question.
I'm gonna find out.
Give us a quick penalty update on our lead drivers.
Manello has only had 1 warning.
That's fair play. So P5 is on the cards. What about Folo? Is Folo on any penalties?
Yeah, let's find out about Folo, shall we? He has a warning. He has 2 warnings.
So if he had had 2 penalties, then Manello would have been back up into 4th. But unfortunately, he doesn't. So
no, unfortunately. So it's looking like Manello's going to finish this race for 6th. Unless he has a mega lap here compared to Barton. But I don't see that happening.
No.
Making up
so we're on the final lap then of the Spanish Grand Prix. Ollie.
And we're not even going to be able to call out. Ollie is already about to win.
Yeah. Ollie is into the final sector.
Oh, Bag of Bones made it past RC7.
Yeah, and Lopez wants to get to the action as well. Lopez going to hang it around the outside into turn 2.
Come on, Lopez. Jake Cole with a 3-second penalty. Oh, RC7 goes wide. Lopez is right there and gets it done on the last lap. Yeah, it was a 3-second penalty.
Can I get back to the leader as he comes through across the line to take victory here in Spain? 10 seconds is the gap from him to Gilzo. Yep.
3rd win of the year.
3rd win out of 5 races.
A 5-second penalty for an unserved penalty. Gilzo coming across the line 2nd. The McLaren of MW is going to come home 3rd. Wow. 3-4 for the McLarens. That is their best result all year. Their only finishes so far this year, actually.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep an eye on that little gap between Barton and Manello. It's 2 tenths going into the final sector. We'll keep him ball with Fowler though as he comes around the final corner.
He's right on his bumper going through the final turn. He's in hot lap mode. Interesting choice. Barton's in high. Not going to have it, but he's going to have it on penalties.
Yeah, so Fowler 4th.
Barton ran out of gas there.
Yeah, Manello 5th. Barton 6th. Jacob hangs on to 7th. Bag of Bones will take 8th. Frizzell in 9th. Lopez takes the final points scoring position as RC7 makes the mistake on the final lap and gets 0 points for himself and for Red Bull.
So, let's talk about some takeaways here, just from what we've seen so far. Big loser. So far, we had 2 big losers in my eyes this race. Manello, big loser for that pit cycle. Didn't work out for him at all.
Nope.
Cost him a lot of spots, cost him a lot of points. And then the other big loser that we have here is the Williams. Lopez, man, he started first. He started first and he finishes 10th through silly mistakes. Look at all the penalties in the middle of the pack. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm just showing the crowd the champagne celebrations before we get into our classification.
We've got a lot of penalties. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so...
driver of the day from you, who do you call?
I've got to give it to Fowler. Is my driver of the day. Starting from the very back of the grid and bags himself a 4th place with just behind his teammate in 3rd. Great recovery from the McLaren drivers. All the top 5 not getting a single penalty as well.
Good on him. Good on him for keeping it clean all day.
So Ollie takes the championship lead after taking victory here in Spain. Gilzo takes 2nd place in the championship, and it's absolute shambles in Haas. Günther Steiner is not going to be very happy with that strategic call in the final couple of laps with Manello, and he relinquishes the lead and 2nd place of this championship fight. But then again, there's still a long way to go. This is only the 5th race out of 21, all still to play for, and I won't count out either J. Cole as well. He's consistently in the points, and it's all to play for. I think Mercedes extend the gap at the top in the constructors as well after another huge haul of points, and Haas I think remain in 2nd because...
I've sent Ollie's an invitation. We'll see if he's willing to hop in for an interview. I'm not sure yet, no promises, but we'll
yeah, we'll stay on board if we can give him a little taster.
Yeah, just let me see if I can get a hold of our winner.
Here he is.
Hey, here's our leader.
Yeah, just
of the race.
Just a quick note, make sure your voice is on share so that we can the stream can hear you.
Yep.
So yeah,
you go to your make sure party settings. On the right side, go down to make sure allow your voice to be shared.
Yeah. Yeah. So
allow for party, there we go.
Excellent.
Alright, so people should be able to hear you then. Congratulations on your win. That was a beautiful drive. Congratulations. Beautiful move in the turn 1 to take the lead. Talk us through that first lap, that first couple turns.
No. You were testing my memory with that. I don't know.
You seem to get a better start than Lopez off the line, and it was just all the way up into first, into turn in the first couple of corners, which was great for you because you were on the harder tyre compared to Lopez.
It was
it was struggling, wasn't it? Because I felt I was getting boxed in at the start. But
yeah, it looked very cramped going into turn 1.
Every second like gave way, I don't even know where he turned up. He might have crashed out.
It was just a bad start for most people. It was a good race for you though.
Yeah, the first stint was quite fun.
Yeah, it was very close with the top 4.
I don't know what it seemed like on stream.
It was good to watch. And your competitor for essentially race victory, MW area, had a mental strategic call in the pits. Instead of going on the hards like yourself for the final stint, he ended up going on to a 2nd set of mediums, which essentially cost him a chance for the race victory with yourself. So
yeah, he's himself out of
it was pretty crazy actually. I mean, he had to be a bit. He must have had a lot of confidence in his own pace.
Yeah.
If he came out the whole point of the first stint was trying to get in and make sure they rejoined into traffic. They did.
Yeah,
And then he
I think your
went
teammate
back.
helped you out a little bit as well when
I
he
thought
made
he
his
did.
pit stop. Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy with J. Cole holding MW up at the exit of the pit lane, and
Was
they
there
took a lap to
controversy?
come out. And yeah,
I know there's controversy with Gildo's move apparently. But
yes, there was a little bit of contact between Gilzo and J.
shoved
Cole.
up the inside and spun him. He definitely sent it. Yeah. So on the subject of your teammate, I have to ask, how does it feel to be the only driver on the team who can get performance out of the car? You're 3 for 5 in wins right now, right? And the past 2 races, your teammate hasn't even qualified worth of crap. What's it like being the only driver on the team who's getting the performance out of the car?
well, you say that, but top of the constructors, isn't he?
Yeah,
You know?
but
He's obviously
also,
got pace because
yeah, I've got to give J. Cole a little bit of a credit as well. He's running no
He
assists.
did good today.
His race pace is better than his quali.
What happened to his quali lap?
Yeah.
And for him to get that high up, I know he was like pretty much holding the whole field up, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's not.
he got himself some points, which is very beneficial for the constructors. You've pulled the gap once again out to Red Bull, with them failing to only get 1 driver in the points. So I think confidence is high at Mercedes. Monaco is next. What are your thoughts for next week then? Do you think you can get a 4th win out of 6? Or is it going to be just try and keep it out of the wall?
Probably going to be try not to keep out of the wall. It's probably more going to be you were going to get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
You think you got a chance to win next time out?
Monaco's quite hard on the pad. Not much
Yeah, it is.
pace.
I can confirm as a pad user, but yeah, it's all going to be about qualifying, I think, for Monaco, because it's very difficult to overtake, and people are just going to get too audacious when it comes to overtaking now.
You're definitely going to get some people who are quicker than where
Yeah.
they qualify because they
Yeah.
really crush out.
It could be a very surprising Grand Prix.
I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, but yeah, should be quite fun.
Yeah. But thank you for talking to us. Thanks for coming on, and
I was
sitting down,
expecting
having a
an invite,
conversation.
you know?
Yeah. So yeah.
We appreciate it. Thank you for giving us a show as well. We really enjoyed the race. The show there at the beginning for sure.
Yeah, we look forward to another thrilling Grand Prix next week. So
Indeed,
I
we
will
do.
sign us off. Thanks everyone for watching the stream, and for the people that will eventually may watch it as a video or as highlights. Next week is Monaco, and I will turn up this time, hopefully. I'll make sure I'm there.
Yeah.
And I've been your commentator along with Ms. Man. Congratulations once again to Ollie for his 3rd victory of the season, taking the charge in the championship ahead of Monaco next week. So see you all next week.